Previously on Dandies in Danger.
What do you say, gentlemen? Would you like a game of ribbon?
Is ribbon this age's spin the bottle?
Yes.
Daniel, while they're walking, would sidle up to Zach and be like, I think you're going to hate this.
We are now entering the copper room. There's also a candle mounted into a metal frame. You see the letters P, R, and then S, N, T, A, I, M.
He would pull out his little pen and he would write down those letters.
Miss Chumley is holding this bundle of ribbons in her hand, and she says, "Pull!" And Daniel just pulls it immediately. "Remove your cravat."
Zachary doesn't know what to do or say, but I'm pretty sure he gets it now. His face is a bright beet red. Zachary did not clear.
"Give me your best rooster crow." All right, I suppose we'll let you off with that.
Excuse me, I have to use the bathroom, he says and he leaves.
Uh-oh, Daniel didn't clear.
"Give a kiss to the lady whom you think is prettiest."
All right then, close your eyes.
All of us.
All of you. He leans over, and Dorothea can probably already feel his warmth as he plants a kiss on her right cheek.
He knocks on the door.
Yes?
I'm just checking on you. I wanted to apologize that you got roped into that game.
I just feel like an idiot. I didn't really expect anybody to come after me, to be honest. Thank you.
So you walk back out into the hallway. Something catches your eye. A small doll starts wobbling towards you, and it gains speed.
Hi, my name is Eli, my pronouns are he, him, and I play the voice of Zachary Wilkos.
Hello, I'm Cass. My pronouns are she, her, and I voice Liam Bardsley.
Hi, I'm Chess, he, she, they, and I voice Daniel Pritchard.
Hi, I'm Toast, pronoun she, they, and I play Adrian Edwards.
Speaking of Adrian Edwards, how does Adrian cope with small things skittering towards him very quickly?
Well, it's startling. So I've been thinking about this, and I have questions about how I want to go forward. 1, would you prefer I roll for fright, or just take one?
It depends on how Adrian feels. Like, Adrian loves the morbid, so is he like, let's think about mice and bugs. So, like, whenever Adrian sees a bug, is he like, ah, sick, I love bugs? Or is it more like, Ollie, come get this for me?
No, he loves bugs.
He loves bugs?
Mice. And he loved those greasy rats. But...
That's true. He did love the greasy rats on the ship. In that case, I am not going to make you take a fright.
All right, then he is going to go, huh. And then I really want to use a witness to look at this doll before it catapults towards me.
Absolutely. So this doll is actually quite diminutive. This is not something that would fit within your arms. Think more like the size of a doll that would belong in a dollhouse. Therefore, it is a little bit difficult to see in this candlelit hallway, but as it is approaching towards you, you think that it might be a child doll out of a family of dolls, and it is moving very quickly towards you. It's not articulated, so it can't swing its arms or legs or anything. It's just sort of hobbling back and forth on its little legs and scooting towards you very quickly.
Fast as a mouse quickly?
Yeah,
or...
fast as a mouse.
Okay. He's gonna look around and realize he's alone, and then he's gonna stand there and wait for the doll to get to him.
Excellent.
Maybe he'd take a few steps towards it.
So as you move towards it, are you standing directly in its path?
Yeah, he wants to, put his foot out to catch it.
So you put your foot out, and it runs right into your foot.
Uh-huh.
And then it kind of shuffles a little bit to the side, like a video game character that's glitching. And it shuffles to the side and it shuffles to the side. And then whoop, it goes shooting past your foot. And it starts
chase it.
Going past. All right. So it's going to be leading you back towards the landing of this hall. Oh, you want to grab it?
Yeah, I want to grab it if it's going to keep running.
Do a D20 roll for me and we'll just do our usual success bracket.
Okay. You don't want to see where it leads you?
Well, he wants to look at it.
He's got cat instinct.
Yeah, don't add anything. This is just a D20.
14.
That's on the higher end of moderate, so I'm gonna say you look pretty damn foolish whenever you're doing it. You have to kind of like, I feel like cat is a pretty good analogy, because you end up on your knees and you're hand over hand over hand trying to like put your hand down on this, but it isn't evading you necessarily. It's just moving in a line, and so you are able to scoop it up, and as you're holding it, it kind of vibrates in your hand a little bit.
Was this close to Zachary's room?
It is pretty close, yeah.
Oh, I think he hears, like, this body go thump on this doll. And then, worried, can he come out of his room and look?
Give me a wisdom roll, because you're still, I feel like, in a sort of fraught emotional state. You might be in your head a little bit. So.
Let me tell you something about PTSD. No, I'm kidding. All right, I'll give you a roll. Oh, 5.
5. That's definitely a failure. So I'm gonna say you don't hear anything.
Right.
If Adrian wants to come get you, he can. But for the time being, you don't hear it. It's more of like a scuffle on the floor.
Okay.
So it's vibrating in your hands.
Do I get anything else from my witness now that I'm holding it up close?
Yeah, I would say that it is made of wood. It's carved. It's got a little child's dress on it. So the outfit that you would give a toddler, just a little unisex dress. And it's got little light brown curls of hair and a little painted face. And it's just sort of vibrating in your hand. And then it kind of tries to wiggle out of your fingers a little bit. It's just kind of wiggling side to side, a little bit difficult to hold on to. So I'm going to roll for the doll.
Okay.
That was a 16. And so the doll kind of like wiggles and your hands are starting to sweat, and it slips up out of your hand and it kind of hovers there in the air for a second. And then it gradually lowers back down to the ground, and then it starts skittering off in the same direction that it had been going.
Are we already past Zachary's room?
You are in between Zachary's room and the copper room. Honestly, you're close enough to your room, and the doll is now moving past the door for Zachary's room, and it's heading towards the foyer and possibly towards the stairs.
Okay, then if I'm quickly following this doll, I want to, as I go past Zachary's room, go, no.
Okay, excellent. We're going to stop there for a second because we're going to catch up with some more of the ribbon game that Liam and Daniel and the rest of the team have been playing after Adrian left to go speak with Zachary, and then we'll pick back up again whenever Zachary leaves the room. The last round of the ribbon game was a little bit cheeky. Daniel gave a kiss to Miss Crispin, and now we are back at it again. And we will be rolling our d20s, and we have to beat a 7.
Ooh, he beat it.
So for this one, Liam and Daniel did fine, but Nathaniel failed, and Dorothea also failed. And so Miss Chumley thinks, and she says, "All right, let's have the two of you tell us a secret about yourselves that no one would expect."
Nathan's like, I'm in trouble! Actually!
I'd love to, bestie, but I literally can't.
Dorothea thinks really hard for a moment. I don't know. I don't keep that many secrets.
Daniel says, go on, there must be something.
I'm the oldest of my sisters. Miss Chumley squints.
She already announced that earlier. We already knew this about her.
Miss Chumley waggles her finger and says, "You have to give us something more juicy than that, dear." Dorothea thinks for a second and says, "Well, I've only ever had particularly strong feelings for someone twice." Miss Chumley nods and says, "Oh, that's adequate. I think that will do." And then she turns to Nathaniel. "And you, young man?" He kind of nervously adjusts his cravat where the brooch is located. And he says, well, I suppose I am younger than most people seem to assume that I am. I'm only 21 years old.
But he looks like he's 40 and on his third divorce.
Wait, it doesn't. I assumed he was like 28.
That's the unexpected secret. Are you going to do that in character?
Oh, sorry. I think Daniel's eyebrows raise, Like, oh, wow, holy shit, oh my god.
Stress has aged him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathaniel is looking particularly at you, Daniel. Liam is still there, and he kind of like is nodding his head. He doesn't want to be rude about it, like, but yeah, that is younger than I was expecting.
Can I roll for like how well Daniel can hide his expression of surprise?
If you're looking to have kind of a neutral, favorable expression because you don't want to insult him,
Yes.
then why don't you roll with influence?
Okay, I don't want to offend him.
Can he add anything since they're allies for this special role?
Oh, it doesn't fucking matter because I got a 5. With my influence is 7.
You are allies. You do actually get a +3 on influence type rolls.
Oh.
So you've got
That's a 10.
a 10, which is solidly in the middle of moderate, so you can't help but have your eyebrows kind of jump up a little bit, but you're still just sort of like nodding your head.
Yeah, he smiles at him.
That's so Daniel anyway, in my opinion, to just have like to have an expression about that. Like Adrian's the mouth in the room, but Daniel's the like,
Yeah, Daniel.
The eyeballs.
Yeah, Daniel will raise his Yeah, he smiles at him like wow, good secret.
wow, good secret.
Nathaniel actually does look a little bit relieved that he managed to fly under that in spite of the very many quite dangerous and risky secrets that he might have had to share. It has satisfied the room, and Daniel did not look abjectly horrified at his ripe old age of 21.
That is a good secret because everyone's like looks at him and is like, damn. And then they don't think about anything else.
You aged like milk. No. He looks very tired and very stressed out. Excellent. So we're going to go around. We're going to be able to do another round. So let's do our d20s. We're beating an 8.
Ooh, Daniel failed.
Daniel was the only one who failed on that, but Miss Chumley gives you a bit of a wink, and she says, why don't you pick an article of clothing from someone else in the room that you find quite fetching and take it for yourself?
Oh,
Only
I know
for the
exactly.
game, of
I know
course.
exactly what I'm grabbing. He goes.
This is the perfect excuse.
The idea immediately pops into his head.
Do it, bitch.
And then he pauses and pretends as if he has to consider it. He looks around. He looks around at everybody. But his mind is definitely on Nathaniel's brooch. So he pauses. He looks around. And then he looks at Nathaniel. And then he says, that's an awfully nice brooch, Nathaniel. And then he goes over and he...
Does he get in close to take it off?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
He gets in close.
You can see that Nathaniel is breathing a little harder, and you can see the pulse just slightly jumping in his neck whenever you move to take the brooch from the cravat.
And he says, lovely, is this emerald? And then he takes it off. And he pockets it so that it can't see anything.
You'd be surprised. In fact, if you hadn't already taken a fright, I would have you take one now, Chess. Because once the brooch is in your possession, you see an additional person in this room.
Shut the fuck up. What? Who is it?
Standing nearby as a spectral apparition, you see a middle-aged man with short-cropped gray hair and blue eyes. He's just in his waistcoat. He's in his shirt sleeves. It looks like he's sort of sitting down in midair. And he looks at you, and you look at him, and he goes, well, I've rather got egg on my face, haven't I?
What?
And then the brooch breaks and he disappears.
Shut up. What the fuck was that?
Is that what
longer
Bush?
see him.
Is that what Bush sounds like?
If that even
I don't
is Bush,
know.
that feels like a demon or something.
Roll me a wisdom roll.
Sock it to me.
That's a 12 altogether.
The face is familiar to you, but you can't quite place where you saw that face.
Okay. He's thinking maybe Portrait Hall, and then he intends maybe to go check that out later
Oh, man.
and confer. So he tries to remember that face.
Everyone is looking at you because you pulled the brooch from Nathaniel.
And then it broke.
And then it broke, and you looked very surprised. Miss Chumley looks at you, and she's shocked for a minute, and it's actually Eleanor Audley who speaks up, and she says, that's quite some grip you've got there, young man. Strong hands. Shame about the brooch. I don't remember.
What?
Where's this?
Why don't you come up and see me sometime with that broken brooch?
Oh, God.
What else some hands do?
That's quite a strong grip you got there, boy.
And
Rider, huh?
Nathaniel is completely flushed in the face. He's just staring at you with his mouth agape. He doesn't know what to say. He has no idea.
Daniel looks at the shards in his hand and he says, must have been glass.
Oh, that's so fucking rude. Daniel has mean girl energy, even without meaning to. But for that, like, for grabbing that brooch alone, I could kiss your big, beautiful brain. Oh my god.
And then I guess he wants to kind of like get rid of it, but he puts it back in Nathaniel's hand.
Shut up!
At least wrap it in a handkerchief.
You want some broken sheep ass?
I think he's kind of like ooged out by the weird thing that just happened. So he was like, "Here, take it. Like, get this out of my hand."
Daniel's had enough of middle-aged white men looking at him already.
Yeah. He's like, all right. He kind of like...
Nathaniel just has like a sheen of sweat on his face now as he's looking at you. He's just like, he wants to talk with you, you can tell.
Yes.
But he doesn't know what to say.
Can I like roll to give him a look that kind of indicates like, we'll talk later?
You know what? I'll let you do that for free. That one's a freebie. You can
All
you can give him a little. We've established that you're the eyeballs guy, so you give him some eyeballs. He gets the idea, and it's actually Miss Chumley who pulls the attention back and says, "Well, we'll keep playing. I suppose that Wilkos and Mr. Edwards, they've been gone an awfully long time, but I suppose we can at least have one more round, and we will do our D20 rolls."
Try to beat a 9.
Yes.
Daniel's safe.
The results from that one, Liam did well, Daniel did well. However, Nathaniel failed, Miss Audley failed, and Dorothea failed. Miss Chumley says, "I'm rather enjoying this trading thing, but let's spice it up a little bit. I liked what Mr. Verdi did earlier with eyes closed and whatnot, so let's have the losers give a token of affection to whomever they consider the most beautiful in the room. And so we'll start with you, Mr. King. We'll have everyone else close their eyes, and then you give a token to whomever you think is the most beautiful. No peeking."
Daniel closes his eyes.
Okay, not gonna peek?
No.
Peek.
No, he has a feeling he's going to come over to him and maybe give him like a plot relevant thing or something. So he closes his eyes and he doesn't peek.
Okay. Your eyes are closed. Liam's eyes are closed. Everybody closes their eyes. The room is very quiet. You can hear just like the faint shuffling of fabric. And sure enough, Daniel, you feel Nathaniel's presence actually come closer to you. You feel his hand, which is shaking, press up against your sleeve. And there's a brief hesitation. And then you feel just the faintest, quickest flutter of lips against your cheek.
Wow.
Well, is it over? Is it done? Yes? Yes, it's all done. All right. And she opens her eyes and she looks around the room, and I'm going to have Miss Chumley roll.
Ooh, we eating good tonight.
All right, so Miss Chumley rolled an 18 on that, and I haven't even added her wisdom and everything else. So she can, right off the bat, she can tell. Nathaniel is even redder than before, if it was even possible. What does she see from you, Daniel?
Daniel knew he would come to him, but I think Daniel was expecting him to, give him like a note or something, like something that would help with his situation. I don't think Daniel was expecting a kiss. So I think Daniel's eyebrows raised a bit while keeping his eyes closed. I mean, when it happened, he had kind of raised his eyes when it happened, but had kept his eyes closed. And then I think I might try to roll to not look surprised.
Yeah, go ahead. In that case, I'll tally up Miss Chumley's total, and you go ahead and roll.
All right, with influence, it's 10.
Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it. That ain't gonna cut it. So Miss
My
Chumley,
blush betrays me.
Miss Chumley knows what's up. She seems chill about it, though. She just seems really chuffed. She's just pleased. She's here for the drama. She's here to get things kicked off.
Queen.
She's here to stir the pot, as it were. And so then you close your eyes for Miss Audley's turn, and you hear a little bit of shuffling around, but neither Liam nor Daniel feel anything or receive anything from Miss Audley.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Wait, I want to peek, though.
You want to peek?
Yeah, I want to know who this old lady's into.
Yeah.
So the question is who... I want to clarify this. Who in the room do you think is the most beautiful?
Uh-huh.
Just to clarify. Okay.
She kisses her own hand.
Yeah.
She's like,
Give
me,
a token.
baby.
Give a token to whom you consider the most beautiful. And so if you want to peek, just give me a straight D20 roll. We don't really have a sneaky stat, so it's just straight D20.
9.
Well, let me see. Yeah, Miss Chumley outrolled you. She says, no peeking.
And he closes his eyes.
The eyes man does it again.
Incidentally, this is a little bit about what were you doing at the Devil's Sabbath kind of moment, because Miss Chumley is also supposed to have her eyes closed.
Girl.
He says, wait a minute.
Fine. So you do not see what passes with Miss Audley. And then everyone must close their eyes for Dorothea. Daniel, you hear rustling again, and this time you feel something slide into one of your pockets. And then you feel Dorothea move away again, and she moves back to where she was standing very, very quietly. And she says, oh, all done. We're ready. And I'm going to have Miss Chumley roll again.
Because she nosy.
Mm-hmm.
She gotta know.
Okay. She only got a moderate that time, and so nobody has any reactions that are giving themselves away.
And Daniel does not, as tempted as he is, he does not touch the thing in his pocket because that would give it away.
Mm-hmm.
He does nothing.
Well done. And it is at this point that the timelines are merging. And I'm giving Liam one of his witness points. Liam is actually going to hear the kerfuffle that Zachary was unable to hear outside with Adrian trying to scamper after the little toy. At this point, Adrian and Zachary have been gone for a few minutes, longer than it would take for somebody to go relieve themselves in a chamber pot in an adjoining room. So Liam's anxiety is getting a little bit higher. He's kind of casting an eye back towards the door, and he hears the sound of Adrian scuffling across the floor. And so at that point, Liam turns to Daniel. Mr. Verdi, I think our friends have been gone for a little while. I think I might step out to see what they've been up to. See if they've gone to perhaps party elsewhere. I hope you don't mind, Miss Chumley. I'm going to step out now just to check on them. Well, all right, I suppose we might as well wrap up the game there as it is. It's been a pretty lovely game, but it is getting quite late. You young people these days have just no stamina. All right, well, I suppose we can call it a night if you want. What do you think, Miss Osmond? I've had a lovely time with all of you. I'm very pleased. Thank you so much for playing with us. I will remember this evening quite fondly, and I hadn't expected to. Good night, all. And Miss Crispin? Dorothea says, oh, yes, I think I'll head out as well. And she looks up to see if Daniel's leaving.
He looks over to Nathaniel and he says, in a moment, there was something I wanted to discuss with our host.
Perhaps we could, discuss it in a place where we won't be disturbing the ladies.
That's a fine idea.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yes, we'll follow Mr. Bardsley out, shall we? And so then, at this point, the doll has slipped out of Adrian's fingers and glided through the air back down onto the ground. Zachary is opening up the door from the amethyst room to be like, hello? And
hello?
Liam is opening the door, eyes scanning, Adrian radar on high. He sees Adrian kind of trying to run off after it. And so Liam is actually going to run to catch up with Adrian. Nathaniel will look perplexed, but he's going to stick back close to Daniel. And then Dorothea is also exiting the room. So Dorothea and Nathaniel, I'm going to roll for them really quick to see if they can notice what the heck is happening just a little bit further down the hallway. It's a little dim.
And the doll is so small.
Nathaniel sees, Dorothea does not. In fact, whenever Nathaniel sees, his eyes go wide. Damn it! And he actually was so eager to speak with Daniel, but at this point, he immediately goes rushing towards this little doll. And Dorothea's like, what? And so we're cutting in on the action, and the doll is moving towards the echoing staircase. What's everybody doing?
Do I need to roll for Zachary to see, or is it just implied that Zachary sees?
Zachary is close enough that you'll be able to see.
Okay.
You see the little doll floating in the air, goes down to the ground, it starts moving away. Adrian is in pursuit. Liam, I think, would still be to your left, farther down the hall, but he's hustling. He sees that something is happening, so he's hustling. And you heard Nathaniel, go.
He just also books it down the hall toward the doll.
Excellent. So we're all in pursuit. Daniel?
Do you want to chase after us? We're all running down the hall.
I think he looks at Dorothea real quick, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, actually, let me have you have a roll, because you're just as far away as Dorothea and Nathaniel. That was my bad. And wisdom? You can add wisdom.
I have a wise boy.
You do.
21. No, a 14 plus a 5, then 19. 19.
That still works just fine. You can see the little doll. You turn to Dorothea. She looks up at you. Is it a ghost?
He's like squinting and making like a, are you shitting me kind of face.
Is it a very small ghost? Is it very far away? What is it?
I think it's Emily. And then he starts walking towards everyone.
Okay, well, if you're walking, you're going to be left behind a little bit, but Dorothea will
he jogs a little.
Okay, he does a brisk jog. Adrian, you are in the lead. This doll has to wrap around the corner into the foyer.
Hang on.
And yes?
When he sees everyone storming after him, he's like,
Yeah, everyone is ready to catch up with you. Liam looks concerned.
It's fine, I think. Well, I don't know. Follow me.
Okay, you get to the doll because the doll actually comes up against the doorway to the echoing stairwell. The door is closed at the time being. You have a few moments to decide whether or not you're just going to stand there or if you're going to open the door because Nathaniel is coming up hot behind you.
Well, he doesn't have his brooch anymore, but Adrian doesn't know that. He briefly considers tripping Nathaniel, but he's not going to do that.
Why is he considering that?
Because he thinks he's going to get in trouble with Nathaniel and his boss because he doesn't know he doesn't have his brooch anymore.
Yeah, the doll is just kind of like rattling against the wood of the door.
Liam, stand in front of him.
Who?
It's Mr. King. He can't see.
Oh, what? All right. And then Liam turns around and is like, hello, Mr. King. If you don't mind, just
Adrian
waiting
keeps going.
for one moment.
He's going to open the door.
That split second, that was all that was needed. The doll just starts tumbling, ass over tea kettle, down the stairs. Blop, 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 blop. It's rattling down. It echoes as it rattles down the stairs, and you may continue to pursue.
I do.
Adrian, should we stay here?
Do whatever you want.
Oh, I'm coming with you. And then he turns and Nathaniel looks so peeved at Liam right now, but then everyone goes after it. Zachary?
I assume that Zachary has caught up with Adrian.
Yes.
And is just with Adrian following this thing.
Yep.
Real quick, as he's running, can he sense if something is pulling this thing? Can he sense magic in general? Can I just get a magic sense?
Yeah?
Yeah, because definitely if Zach is now alongside Adrian,
Yes.
he'd be like, what do you think? Sense anything?
Puts 2 fingers to his temple. 15.
Yeah, that's at the upper end of moderate. So with a 15, you can tell this does not feel like the stuff that you felt down in the bath. It doesn't feel like the energy you felt around the staff, which you've been kind of trying to zone in on them. It feels completely different from that. 15, I think, is good enough that you can tell that this is magic, though.
Nice, so it's like a lighter feeling, or you haven't said it's a lighter feeling, but I'm inferring that it's like a different feeling from the magic that, you just said that, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like, it's definitely not a ghost.
Not demonic.
It doesn't have that demonic stank. It doesn't feel like the in-between life and death.
Okay.
From, the staff. It just feels different.
All he says is, someone is definitely influencing this. I can't tell who right now, though.
Okay.
Tally-ho.
All right, so we're going to keep going, and I am going to do a roll for Nathaniel because he is huffing and puffing. He is like trying to catch up to y'all. But it's a pretty narrow stairwell, so if you want to block him out, that would be pretty easy.
Is Nathaniel not going to indicate in any way that he's not being supervised at the moment?
That is not the first thing on his mind. That would be helpful for you guys, certainly, but he's not indicating that at all because he's got other things on his mind. Because he actually rolled an 18, so I want Adrian and Zachary, I want you to both roll your d20s, and I'm going to average your rolls to see if he's able to squoze past you on this narrow staircase.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It'd be really bad if y'all roll a nat 1, by the way, so please don't do that.
Great.
We just break our necks in the game.
Tumble down the stairs.
Now that you've said that, I'm nervous.
Didn't do great.
20.
Ooh, nat 20.
20, nat 20.
Nat 20, okay. It doesn't matter. What'd you get?
I got a 10.
10. Well, that's pretty bad, but luckily Zachary is carrying the team. Zachary, if you want, you can freeze him out. Nathaniel is trying to scoot past you to get to this before you, and you can keep him behind you and also not allow him to, like, push you in any sort of dangerous way on the stairs.
It's kind of funny because this feels a bit serious, but, like, what I'm imagining is Zachary, like, is doing a little brother move here where he just, like, flings his arms out on each side of the corridor and just, like, stepping down, like, but like he won't let Nathaniel pass. And
why?
What I'm doing for Zachary's character is that, like, he wants to see where this thing is gonna go, because if it doesn't have the same influences at the house, it doesn't feel malicious, and rather he thinks, oh, this thing must be trying to show us something.
Okay.
He thinks Nathaniel wants to stop it, so he wants to see where this is going. So that's the character initiative I'm giving Zachary.
It's a pretty solid analysis because you can hear Nathaniel behind you going, no, 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 no.
Sorry.
As Zachary is dum, 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 down the
Can I do a dun 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 and you do it? No, real quick. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Dun 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 dun. And that's all you hear going down the stairs. All right.
Okay, that's enough. We've passed the stairwell. Liam, Daniel, Dorothea taking up the rear.
Daniel had been kind of hanging back a little bit. He had started jogging, and then he looks over his shoulder to make sure that Dorothea is keeping up, because he remembers that she walks with a cane. So his priority is making sure that she keeps up. So he's kind of straggling back in the back with her. So he unfortunately probably missed the dum 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 dum.
You could hear it. You could hear it though for sure. Like this is the echoing stairwell. You could hear it. You just don't have the context.
He's just kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
As she is trying her best to keep up with you, she appreciates that you've stayed to keep pace with her, and she is following you as you go down the stairs. She is using her cane, and she is keeping up a pretty good clip, but y'all are in the rear. Liam is firmly in the middle, and we managed to get down to the first floor, so next one below. The doll is desperately trying to rattle into the next landing for the first floor. You open it up.
Yep.
Okay, you open it up, and it goes shooting. And now this is, in fact, the place where Daniel first saw the Catboy Soldier toy on this stairwell. And
That's
so
my
whenever
favorite indie band.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think you made that joke last time.
Shit.
And so whenever you get to this floor, once again, those of us who have a feather, as well as Zach, we can see the ghostly old lady who's still staring at the window, but she's not interacting with us. The toy goes shooting around. It is now going down the westerly hallway of the first floor. And if you want a refresher, this is the hallway with Dorothea's honey room. It is the room with Francis Blythe's clover room. And it is the room which at the very end has the emerald room where Emily is staying. And that is in fact where this toy is rolling. So let's do one more d20 roll. We're going to have Nathaniel rolling against the average of Adrian and Zachary.
I got an 18.
Hell yeah.
11.
I can already tell, I don't have to do the math, that's going to be fine because Nathaniel only rolled a 3. Narratively, what that looks like is that this doll is just rocketing towards Emily's room. And Nathaniel, you could just sort of feel him behind you sort of giving up, and he's just quietly going, no, stop. Stop, 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 stop. Zachary, what was it like as a young witch learning how to be safe and unseen in this world? Who taught you that?
Zachary's grandmother was a secret prolific witch. She was incredibly adaptable. She knew so much about magic that was never really passed down to Zachary. A lot of learning magic felt shameful while also trying to take secret pride, and yet Zachary could never quite ever balance the both, and shame often won more than not. Learning magic for Zachary was difficult not just because he had to learn the magic, but he had to learn it for the sake of controlling himself, controlling his power, and keeping it secret. So it was stressful and a little sad, but also there was a kind of like secret wonder to it.
That is what leaps into your mind as you are following this doll down the hallway. You're remembering the wonder of it, but also the shame and the secrecy. And you can see the little doll finally falls down and lies flat on its back as it reaches Emily's door. And it wiggles a little bit from side to side and slides underneath. And so now the whole party has run to the very end of the hallway, and Nathaniel is standing there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, Adrian, Zachary, you're finally able to notice in this moment that Nathaniel no longer has the brooch around his neck because in the run, his cravat has become quite undone. He's standing there panting a little bit. What would you like to do?
She's a witch, isn't she? No, it's all right. It's all right.
Slow breaths.
You can't. Please.
On my life, I would never. Zachary doesn't go into the girl's room, but instead puts his hands on his hips and sort of thinks about what to do next with this information. And as he notices the fact that there isn't the brooch on Nathaniel anymore, he looks at him and he says, "You have to tell us more about what's going on. Is it really an affliction?"
Affliction? Oh, Emily. Well, yes, Emily's ill, just in the same way that her mother was. Her mother was not a witch, though. She's just ill. But everything that she can do, it has been stronger recently. At first she could move things for her father, little puppets, play a show for him. But now it's become much stronger, and I dare say it's because of what my employer keeps here in the house. But we rely on him for her medicine. It's the only thing that works. That's why I have to stay.
What is in the bathhouse?
I wish I could tell you. I'm not trying to hide. I don't even know. I
know, it's okay.
I was just trying to do right by Emily, and Francis, he can't. Well, that's my brother-in-law, Francis. He can't. Lord Bush is a monster, but we can't leave, and I don't know what he's doing, but I know it's not good, because what he's done to our family has not been good.
Zachary takes him by the shoulders and he looks him in the eye and he says, "We are going to get you and Emily out of this." What happened to your brooch?
I think Daniel catches up by this point.
He looks at you, and then he can't even look directly at Daniel. He looks over, but he's just so overwhelmed right now that he can't quite make eye contact.
What on earth is going on?
His brooch is gone, and we think Emily's a witch. Little else we've learned, but at least we're all on the same page.
Where is this Lord Bush?
I don't know. He could be at his other estates.
He's not in the home.
The attic, perhaps?
Don't go to the attic.
Why? What's in the attic?
That's where Lord Bush keeps his things. I went up there once before with Francis. He moves his hand forward and looks around at everyone. Liam, Adrian, Zachary, Daniel, Dorothea, and he slowly removes his glove, and you can see that his hand, which he has been cradling against his chest, the skin looks aged and the wrinkles are swirled, as was the skin of Francis Blythe, his brother-in-law.
The same thing's happening to him?
I don't have much time. Bush will know if I spend too long without a brooch. But what I know is that in the attic is where Bush keeps his things, and Francis tried to go up there, before all of this started, he tried to go up, and he tried to destroy it. But it created, I don't know how to explain, it created a burst, like a thunderclap, and that's how this happened.
What is it?
Trying to destroy... Bush is a collector. He keeps things. He steals things. He has me go arrange to collect things from the church. Stolen things they wouldn't miss. But then he collects them, and he studies them. And he studies how they work. But there was once I had one brooch. It was elemental, fire. It was hot enough that it filled me with anger, and it was like I could see clearly for the first time what he was doing to me, so I went to his offices. I destroyed what was there, and when I came back, I tried to talk to Francis. Francis was enraged, and he knew that Bush had been moving things into our attic. There's still things up there, but Francis, he refused to be stopped. He moved up there right away, and he just started smashing things and destroying these artifacts, whatever it was. And the more he destroyed, there was this sort of build-up of energy or lightning or like a wave that couldn't be escaped. And he was at front, and I threw my hand up to avoid the most of it. I couldn't move past the threshold. I was stopped. I couldn't help him. He got the brunt of it.
It's the substitute.
What?
The substitute for intent. That which powers his magic.
He started this venture, the bathhouse, he started renovating everything after the incident in the attic.
So he's taking people in.
I don't know why. I don't know what he means to do. I know it can't be good, and I haven't...
What happens to the people?
They leave. Well, most of them do.
To what end?
They go back to their homes.
Altered?
Yes.
Why?
And some of them stay. I don't know why Bush offered a position to those that stayed.
Did they stay voluntarily?
Yes. Well,
not
I
really.
assume so. They took the position.
There's mind control going on, we know this.
That's true.
Bit of puppeting, perhaps?
Emily's puppeting. Or he's siphoning magic off of Emily for a specific purpose. Daniel, that thing you said before about intent.
Do you think Emily would know anything about this? He stares at the door.
She's just a girl.
She's a witch.
He gives you kind of a look.
Let's not bother her. She should be asleep.
Well, with all that noise, I don't know.
We can ask Francis 5 questions, right?
Please, let's
Could I observe Emily as a doctor? Have you had a proper... He pauses. A proper doctor come to see her, or is this all...
Lord Bush is doing.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we've had several doctors. Many of them. None of them were able to help until...
Did you have any who could see magic?
He makes a face. I realized our viewers can't see that. He makes a face.
I think it would be best, actually, if myself and Mr. Wilcox spoke with her.
Daniel nods.
All right. Okay, so this is an excellent time to mention that all of us, especially thanks to playing the ribbon game, all of us are now allies with Nathaniel. And everybody's leaning on him. Liam is nodding. He hasn't spoken much in this scene, but Liam is nodding. And so I would like all of us to roll our d20s, and we get to add +3 plus persuasion.
Okay.
Influence,
thank you.
17 from Daniel.
21 from Zachary.
16 from Adrian.
This is where the story wants Zachary.
22 from Liam.
Nice.
All right.
All right. That is more than enough. Dorothea is not quite involved. Dorothea is perplexed because the last she knew this was about ghosts, and now it's about witchcraft. But she's keen and she's ready to go to further the investigation. And so Nathaniel completely buries his face in his hands, the now exposed hand with the swirls of skin exposed. Do you promise you won't tell anyone?
On my life, Nathaniel.
We have good reason not to.
You have our word.
Did they have the cross my heart, hope to die thing? Daniel wants to, like, cross his heart.
Okay, yeah, that works. Dorothea is very stern. She says, "You have my solemn vow." And so he does a little knock on the door and says, "All right, Emily, you have it your way. I know this is what you wanted." He opens it up, and you see Emily reclining on her bed, her candle still illuminated, not yet snuffed. And she's got the little doll sitting on her knee. And she looks up at all of you. She makes eye contact with Zachary. And she goes, "Finally!"
Liked what you heard? Let us know by using hashtag #DandiesInDanger over on our Twitter, Insta, Tumblr, and TikTok in the listed links below. We'd love to hear any and all comments, questions, and theories as to where the story might be headed. Want to support us and our lads' adventures more directly? Then please consider clicking on the link and becoming a patron today. For just $1, you can gain access to our longer, uncensored outtakes and blooper reels. For $5, you can have access to exclusive stickers, in-world letters written by and for the lads, poetry by Adrian and Daniel, and original music from the show composed and scored by Chess Albanese. Can't afford to support directly? No problem. Podcasts survive by word of mouth. So if you like what you heard, tell your friends, family, and local graveyard ghosts all about these exciting tales. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Dandies in Danger is written and voiced by Elijah Bergateris as Zachary Wilkos. Cast as Liam Bardsley. Chess Albanese as Daniel Pritchard. And Toast as Adrian Edwards. It is edited by Toast. Original score and music composed by Chess Albanese. It is produced by Dandies team, and made possible by listeners like you.